In this video, we're going to cover a topic called language specification, which is closely related to a language implementation. So by the end of this, you should know the difference between the two. So what is language specification? Well, it is what is meant precisely by every computer programming task. So we have a specific task that you want the computer to complete, but we need to define it concretely and very precisely what is meant by this specific task. So let's go back to our English language analogy. So we had a task, go to the store and buy milk, eggs, and meat. So this was the end result, just to bring back the milk, eggs, and meat. So in the English language, there would be maybe who would get to decide that this statement was completed correctly, that this task was completed correctly. Who decides what is actually correct here? Is low-fat milk acceptable? Can the items be bought in any order? Can you steal the items? Can the eggs be a certain size? How about the meat? What type of meat do you want? So this statement here is a little bit ambiguous in that we don't necessarily have a specifics on all of these. Now, in computer programming, the tasks need to be very specific and very concrete, and there needs to be an exact definition of what is correct. So when we looked at, above here, we did 34 times 99, the answer here, there is one specific result, and this is the exact answer. It must return 3,366. So a language specification spells out exactly what is meant by each programming statement. So when you write this, some statement, it means literally this or that. There's a very precise definition of each command. So let's go down here. So language specification details the precise definition of each command with no ambiguity. Sometimes you could refer to this as the ground truth. So we need to know exactly what each command and each task is, what is actually meant by this. And what programming languages do is they create these documents called language specification that does spell out exactly what is meant by everything in that language. Python has something similar called a language reference, which I've opened up over here, and it goes through everything that you can see in a Python program, and it's quite long. So this is the roadmap for Python. This is the glossary. It has essentially every definition, everything that you can write in Python, and how and what it means is in this document over here. So that's part of the official documentation. So just to make sure that we know the difference between specification and implementation. So again, specification is what exactly is the correct result of this task, and then so that's like the 3,366. So that's the result of that multiplication. Implementation is the steps taken to complete the task. And as we saw up here, there are 4 different steps here, or 4 different paths we can take to get 3366, while there is a single correct result. So the specification would be this number over here, 3366, while the implementation could be a number of different ways to get to that 3366. All right, so that wraps it up for language specification.